What other things have there? I'm pretty sure like governments follow War Thunder forums. Guarantee there's like every agency out there is watching those forums, because there's so many times now that some state or national secret has been leaked, or just classified files have been leaked because someone is mad that it's not historically accurate, or someone is mad about the stats. There was the Chinese main battle tank shell, which was leaked because someone was not happy with how it performed in game and said it should be better because this is what it really looks like in the game. Like, what? And I don't remember what else was there. The entire British current main battle tank, main battle tank. Yeah, I think that there's been a couple of War Thunder leaks. What? Okay. Okay, which one has leaked? Yeah. Fans wanted the war game to be more real, so they leaked. Okay, what's up there? Well, one guy uploaded the manual to a British Challenger 2 tank because he wanted to get the tank to be more accurate. Another poster uploaded a Leclerc S2 manual while arguing about the turret rotation speed, so he wanted to prove he was right. And then someone apparently posted the China's DTC-10 125 tank and a piece of material. All three posts were removed by Gaijin, but it was too late, of course. And now apparently they posted an F-16 manual. Isn't that considered treason? It's a big thing. You should not do that. It's a big, like, they are not happy with you if you do that. I mean, in a way, you love that the game can make them so passionate about it, but it's still insane. Like, they get so angry and like, argh. Okay, let's see. What do I have here? Update 12.0, Lunar New Year. Let's see. Read this article carefully. Okay, Airship Escort. Nice! Nice. Airship Escort is fun. Airship Escort is a lot of fun. That's a good game mode. I hope they don't try to make it a part of random battles, because that's not how it works. It sucks as a part of random battles, because there's a lot of ships that simply don't work in it. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of ships that don't work in ranked, but people still bring them to ranked. But you get my meaning. Tier 8 to 10 ships are allowed to participate. No super ships. Nice. Okay, the airship routes have been updated. Speeding up both works, yada yada yada. I love that this is so clear. It says hold back, escort, and there's a progress bar here. You'd think it would be so clear, and they even drawn the lines on the map. And you know for a fact that your average player is gonna say like this guy, you see this guy kiting away, this DD running away this way. This is how the average players are still gonna play this game. They're gonna move completely away from the objective. And like they're not gonna understand anything, and they're gonna that's how it always goes. But at this point, I've just accepted the fact that this player base is completely incapable of understanding any game mode. Really, they just go and do pew pew. That's all they really can comprehend. Anything more than that, it's too difficult. It's too difficult. I mean, I would blame the streamers for a lot of people sucking in wells. Surely, it must be the streamers' fault. Surely. It must be the streamers' fault. I agree. Fully agree. Damn streamers. You're the reason why these guys who have 30,000 battles are still absolutely dreadful at the game and still don't understand basic objective play. Damn streamers. Always them. Participate in Airship Escort to earn special achievements for this battle type, community tokens, regularly test new mechanics, yada yada yada. If the updated mode performs well this year, Airship Escort will most likely be introduced into random, but no, don't do that. Wargaming, please, understand. It doesn't work in randoms. It's supposed to be a fun mode, and you're supposed to be able to pick ships that work well in it. You know what's gonna suck? Playing any sort, you queue up in a Yoshino, Azuma, whatever, and the game throws you into Airship Escort, and suddenly you're expected to push in and brawl, and you're playing a long-range HE spammer or something. Like, it's gonna suck. Please don't do this. It's terrible. Please don't. Please don't. Naturally, if they just try to copy what they see, a lot of people will not try things themselves, but can be taught. Look, Lemasive, I don't mean to be insulting, but honestly, at this point, if you struggle to find resources on how to play World of Warships, the problem lies in you and not in anyone else. I posted guides, elaborate positioning, gameplay, captain build guides on YouTube for 5 years, and during those 5 years, all I ever saw was the player base getting worse. And there are streamers who are very teaching and explaining. Like, if these people wanted to learn, there's endless content to learn. The problem is people don't want to learn. The guys who are watching the stream are a small percentage of the player base. The average player thinks he's already learned everything there is to learn, or alternatively he just wants to go boom boom, so he runs in and dies instantly and has no interest in improving ever. Player base has gotten better over the years. Yeah, that sounds... I'm gonna hard disagree with that. So many good players have left. And they've been replaced by just... Like, you can... If you look at any competitive games, the same guys that were winning tournaments 4 or 5 years ago are still winning tournaments. There's been no one to offset them. On the other hand, a lot of the competition that they had has disappeared. So... if there were a lot of new players, good players coming in, surely there would be some more fresh blood in the top scene, but there isn't. There isn't. Japanese cruisers in tech tree. Yeah, these guys, I don't know if you saw it, but I looked at these things. They've been out for 2 months now in the early access, and yeah, it's an absolute tragedy how these new ships are performing, in particular the Yodo. The Yodo numbers, like, first of all, the Yodo battles played is completely tragic. It's one of the least played early access ships I've basically ever seen. No one has had any interest in the Yodo. You barely see it at all. And worse than that, though, worse than just people wanting to pay to play it being extremely low, the performance of the ship has been absolutely dreadful. The average damage is basically the worst on all servers. And the win rate, especially for a new ship that people normally when you have a new ship that people don't know what it does, the ship performs quite well. But in this case, despite people having no idea what Yoshino armor is like, or sorry, Yodo, what the armor is like, what the ship does, despite this, it's performed absolutely dreadfully. Absolutely dreadful. And it's worse on many servers. Yodo on C in particular is probably the biggest tragedy. 47% win rate, which is like, is it the lowest? Yoshino B is lower. Otherwise, Yodo is down here, but the average damage is probably the biggest tragedy. It's like more than 10% below even the worst of the others. So Yodo just seems like the biggest flop of a line I've basically ever seen, and it's performing equally on every single server. On Russia as well. We can't see Russia from this side, but it's performing terribly on all servers. The win rate is bad. The damage is basically some of the worst in the game. It's... considering it's a new ship that they normally have inflated numbers, thanks to being unknown, Yodo seems like a complete tragedy. Complete tragedy. So, yeah. I mean, we'll unlock it and we'll try it, but there's a reason no one is buying it or playing it. The numbers already told a story, and based on fighting them, they seem like, honestly, free kills. Free kills just all the time. Pan-Asian Commander, yada yada yada. Oh, this was the Radar YY Commander that's finally coming out. This thing seems pretty spicy on the Radar YY. Consumable action time, boost, and if you're in a combat scout, you get 20% reload. If you land torps 6 times, you get torpedo speed, and the torpedo reload booster cooldown goes down, and you get 1 extra. And, oh yeah, reduces consumable cooldown if with potential. That one's gonna be harder, but these two are perfectly achievable in Radar YY. I mean in normal YY as well, but I think in Radar YY in particular it's gonna be very spicy. Complete the collection for him, wasn't that it? Completing each collection will... Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see how we get those collection pieces now. Collection can only be obtained from standard and premium HF containers. Okay. Okay, so you can get it for free. At least is sufficient to complete the container for free if you do all the missions. Worth going for that then. Let's see what else. Early access to USS hybrids, Lamau. This is of course the complete opposite of those. These things seem hilariously strong, like absolutely hilariously strong. Because they get nuke bombers basically. So a battleship that can spot for itself and nuke and shoot and yeah. These things seem very dented. New York port has been decorated. Cool. The complete opposite of what the player base wants. Yep. Tumor line ship and then Montana with plan. With bombers especially. 8 midway HE bombers, because that's what the player base wants. HE bombs, yep. The vulnerable parts of the new ships are their large, lightly armored superstructure that house an aircraft hangar. Oh no. What is this? American tokens, of course. New currency. Ranked battles. 12.0. 6 versus 6, 8 versus 8, 10 versus 10, so carriers in every tier. Which is oof, of course, but what can you do? Wargaming wants... I guess I think the only reason why they finally bothered updating ranked was they got tired of people hiding in tier 7 to dodge the CVs. So now they're adding now they're making sure you can't hide anywhere. Lightly armored superstructure, except it also doubles as a giga deck armor. True. The rule for keeping star events, yeah, I don't know. Brawls. Tier 8 ships in a 6 versus 6. Huh. Could be fun. Of course, people are gonna avoid brawling as always, but could be fun. Sounds like Massachusetts gaming for sure. With the occasional Turpitz, Zetan. Oh, Zetan is gonna be super popular, isn't it? Oh man. Zetan, Lenin. BBs are gonna dominate with the occasional DD. I guess Baltimore is gonna be pretty spicy for the raid. Tallinn might be fun. Depends on how small the maps are. If the maps are very small, Tallinn will just explode. Akizuki. We'll see. Game balance changes. Okay. The amount of damage received by hull parts and restored by repair part of consumables increased from 50 to 60. Marlboro. Renown. Reload buff. Buffalo buff. That's fine. Dalian buff. Seong buff. Honestly, this seemed pretty okay. Marlboro is dog shit, so getting some buffs is fine. Not sure if Renown needed a buff, but sure. What else? Changes combat instructions. What happened to the Ragnar nerf? It was a big Ragnar nerf. We changed the combat instructions. Oh yeah, they buffing super ships. That is so baffling to me. Like super ships aren't strong enough, so they're buffing them, reducing the what you need to do to achieve the funny button. Yeah, you can get the funny button on the Satsuma much faster now. The number of qualified gunships has been reduced from 12 to 10. ESW finally for Dutch cruisers. This is absolutely hilarious though that the plane-based heavy cruiser doesn't get plane-based ASW. It's ship-based ASW. And you know for a fact it's because their terrible spaghetti code can't implement the second set of planes because they already have one plane. So Dutch cruisers now have ship-based ASW, which is like it's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. So yeah, good luck sailing your Johan de Witt on top of a destroyer and manually dropping. So it's basically like having no depth charges, honestly. It's like having no depth charges. It's terrible. 3050k, what? Armory? Hector! Interesting. 46k research was. That's pretty cheap. We'll see how this thing plays. Seems interesting. Interesting. I think, yeah, the reason why they're buffing these super ship BBs is because people are so terrible at playing them. They run in with no fire prevention, get farmed to death, and then they QQ. Like, these ships are hilariously overpowered, but the player base is so terrible. This is why they're buffing them, which is why the game should be balanced based on good players and not based on the average, because the average player is a tragedy. And now if you run into someone who actually is any good at the game playing these things, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. It's balancing based on the lowest common denominator is never a good way to balance a game. The update brings the following items to the game. Okay. Interesting. They're buffing super BBs because the aiming bugs are so horrendous you can't hit what you aim at. Yeah, but that applies to everyone. All BBs. Why would they buff the super BBs in particular for that? No, the reason they're buffing them is potatoes. Dumpling camo. Okay, that's kind of adorable, not gonna lie. Salamander, Hurricane, achievements. Yeah, this one I don't like that much. It doesn't look that good. The following ships have been added for testing by developers, super testers, and community contributors. Dyson, Colossus, Hercules, the entire Pan-American line. That the player base sure is excited to see. An entire Worcester copy pasta line. Very cool. Future changes. They're changing the contents of all of these. In update 12.4, Groningen, Hayate, Azuma, and Eger will no longer be available for purchase in the tech tree for free XP. Interesting. Oh, you can buy them for coal. Well, buy the Groningen then. Groningen is actually a good ship. If you don't have the Friesland, then get the Groningen before they remove it. That's actually a good ship. Eger is okay. It was pretty nice in Tier 9 Cruiser 1 versus 1. If it ever comes back. But it's not a big deal if you don't get it. But Groningen is actually a good ship. Hayate is dog shit, Azuma is dog shit, so don't bother. I liked your gift, thank you. Azuma is better than Eger. Okay, bro. And the number in game updates has been changed. We have updated the animation of all flags in the game. Their movement is now more realistic. Nice. Okay. Flags now look like they're made of real fabric. Okay. Detailed information about the enemy ships. What enemy ships receive damage upon player spotting has been added to the post-battle statistics. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Because more than 6 months have passed since the separation economic, the clarification that camouflage has only changed the ship exterior will be removed from the descriptions of various bundles in the Armory and Premier shop. Okay, why did clarification need to be removed? I bet they're not they've been trying to push people running camos a lot. And I think that this entire separation thing, I think it ended up being a pretty big flop for them. I think they thought people would be spending a lot of money on the camos. But I've never seen as many ships without camos as I do now. No one considers it worth paying for. So, this is pretty interesting. The clarification that camouflage is only changed the ship exterior will be removed from the descriptions of various bundles. Because it's been 6 months. Okay, why is that needed though? We want to give you less information. Oh, thank you. Fix the bug that caused secondary battery guns to miss enemy ships at close range or those located at the edge. Oh, they fixed the border humping for against secondaries. Did they fix the acceleration bug again on the border though? There's a discount for purchasing a ship. It's no longer taken into account when selling the ship. Oh, okay. Added sounds for unarmed torpedoes colliding with ships. Added crash sounds for jet and turboprop aircraft. Swift Fish has been renamed Swift Flying Fish. A number of fixes have been made to the battle camera for submarines. How about making some of those fixes for the surface ships that are suffering from the worst artillery mechanics in the game ever since you touched the camera? Like, ever since you touched the camera, they've broken so many things about the artillery, and now they're fixing it for the subs? There better be something about the artillery in this patch now. The recruiting station naval battle banners have been returned to the port. Update text on tooltip. Fix the bug that sometimes caused shots not to be fired at the aiming point when quickly moving the aiming reticle. I made a vid on that. That was their hot fix to the railguns, was adding a delay. And I think they fixed that now, but I want, what are they going to break in return? That's what I'm interested. What are they going to break in return? Because when they tried... First, when they changed camera, they added the railgun bug. And then I made a vid on the railgun bug. And they fixed it by adding an artificial delay. And now they're fixing that artificial delay. I'm wondering what are they breaking this time. I wonder if the railguns are back. That's what I'm wondering as well. I wonder what they're breaking. It's sad, but I have no faith in them actually fixing things. I expect them to fix one thing and break another. Fix the point scoring settings, nomination mode, and Warrior's Path. Fix bugs and the characteristics discharge arm for Japanese cruisers. Okay. Add it from 1 to 2 on the premium Myokos. Maximum range of depth charge airstrike armament has been increased from 5 to 7 km. Okay, but why does Ohio still have 6 km? Interesting. Oh, fix the characteristics of Ragnar's AA defenses. Damage by medium AA range has been reduced from 673 to 669. Was this the big nerf? It was in balance changes earlier. Now it's a characteristics fix. Interesting. How is this not a shift change? It was in the balancing changes in the past, and then everyone laughed at it, and now they made it a characteristics change. What? 4 DPS, by the way. Strong nerf. Fix the bug in secondary battery aiming angles for Wujing and Alsace. The aiming angles will change by 1 degree, which will not affect combat efficiency. Interesting. Interesting. Well, so patch. We get a fun game mode, which is the escort, airship escort, which will feature a lot of potatoes who don't understand to escort the airship, despite the name of the game mode, but it's still fun. It's still one of the best game modes I've ever played. I've enjoyed it a lot. On the other hand, they might shove it into random battles, which seems like a dreadful idea. We get the Yodo line finally released, which means a lot of new fresh dev strikes to farm, since people are going to be sailing these huge, clumsy light cruisers and trying to torpedo and kill themselves. So that's always nice. We'll try to play them, of course, but that's probably going to suck, because they just seem so awful. A lot of Louisianas and stuff in CC and Super Tester hands, so we're going to be suffering from more planes, which kind of sucks. A potential new artillery bug, we'll see. They're promising to fix things, but we'll see. Big pinch of salt on that one.